Welcome back. We are working on the small model corner section from C&M Industries. And after a little bit of technical difficulties, we return to the build. The build in this case is asking us to have these headers in place. And then once we have this header in place, then we will be able to put in the trimmers. So with this aligned, I'm going to grab my nails and I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers. There. I think that's pretty good. Right there. And so for this one, I'm just trying to mark it about right where I want it. Cutting it in this space is pretty small. I'm trying to keep it on camera when I'm cutting, so that's a little bit different for you at home. Wow, that's perfect. So this is the piece, and then I want to use this as my pattern. That's what they're saying in the instructions. They're calling it a pattern, but I call it my master. Okay, and I'm going to nail in this header before I position this. So I'm going to grab the nail. And I'm going to go diagonal with this. So this is going to hold them all together. Now you're welcome to glue these if you want, but that might get a little messy. I'm just doing a diagonal nail. Okay. Now two from the side, one from the right, and one from the left. Make sure you are aligned with the diagram underneath. All right, so that's in there nicely. Let's check this. Okay, we have, I think this one is exactly, yep, that trimmer is the exact right size, and this one needs to get sanded a little bit. Great. We have that in there. And then these cripples on the top are the next part. So trimmers or cripples, which comes first, it's really up to you. Let's see where these, okay, that was too short. This one looks like it's about the right length. I'm eyeballing that for a line. Then once I have that line, that looks like it's going to go right in. nicely. And so now I actually am going to use that as my pattern. That's what the term that they kept using in the instructions. And then I'm going to make sure this is flush with my thumb, holding it there, making another line. I'm going to get two more, 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. I need one more. So I'm going to go to this piece here. I'm going to make a line on it there. And we are ready to do these cuts. So here we go. Make sure you save all your extra pieces. And let's make sure they fit. This is a little long. There. That one's in there. I'm sanding a little bit here. There we go. All my cripples are in right now. And so now let's go ahead and put a nail in all of the cripples. So here, I'm going through with the nail. Make sure you keep the nail horizontal when you're going in here. Nice. Okay, this looks like we are moving right along, and we have a few more pieces to cut. But these are just going to be the fire stops. They say that they're optional, but we're going to go ahead and put them in. So that will be what we get to next time. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little pause there for today, and I hope you enjoyed this section of the build video. We're going to now continue our wall build, and we are moving right along. We're going to be putting in the optional fire stops or fire blocks, and I'll point those out to you right now. They're here, 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 and here. So we have those 4. Oh, also I noticed I don't have a nail in these trimmers. So let me get the trimmer nails in. I'm putting these nails in at a diagonal, quite aggressive diagonal angle, so I can hide them in between the studs, and what we have here is almost a completed section of wall. I'm having a hard time pushing these nails in, so I'm just grabbing my little keychain and pushing that in a little bit, and then switching back. There we go. Great. All right. We are good to go here. Look at that. All right, so let's mark these off. These are all going to be individual sizes, so there isn't a fast way to cut these. We'll have to do them all individually. And I like to work my way across. Okay, that one is secure. Next. Okay. Pushing in the nail, holding firmly down with these two fingers. Be careful not to poke yourself. Going in from this side. Oh, totally missed it. I'm going to just make it a little crooked because this is so hard to put in. But don't poke yourself when you do that. Great. It's just a little crooked, but don't tell anyone, okay? Here we go. Next piece. Oh, I have this little one I'm going to just use for that. It's a little easier to cut than the bigger ones. So I'm going to get that. Boom, right there. And this one right here. Wow, that's looking great. Let's get these nails in. You want to apply pressure to the opposite side. Great. And that's the completion of sheet 1 of 3. Look at that. Oh, wait. There is a cap. They're calling it a double top plate. In the other model, they call it a cap plate, but yes, this is for sure the top plate and the sole plate. So let's get another piece up on top here, there, mark it, cut it. Okay, looks good. And this wall section is done. Wow. Okay, so once we're done with the section, then we have to remove the section from the work surface. So what I like to do is I like to wiggle it, it's so gentle. You see how I'm just barely touching it? There it is. There it is. That's how gentle you need to be with this. It is very, very delicate. Okay, so to push these nails out, I'm going to get my needle nose and careful not to poke myself. Here we go. This one's coming up a little bit. I'm going to put another nail in the end. I'm going to put another nail right here. That was coming up. Careful not to poke yourself. Okay. So now that I've popped all the nails out just a little bit, you can see the nail protruding right there. Okay, now you can pull them out. If you bend them, throw them away. If you're able to get them out straight, then you can keep them. There is one more right here. Wow, our first piece. How nice. Great. Okay, so what we're going to do now is transition to the next piece. So this is piece 1. Let's put that off to the side in a nice safe place. And then let's review what we have here on the paper. Well, I can say that the paper doesn't have anything else for us to do. So I'm going to, with my nail, gently pull out all of the nails that are holding this piece in. There it is. Okay, one more. I put a lot in. Okay. So that was that piece. Okay, so let's see what, okay. So remember here, this is our objective. So what we did is we created this side here. Okay, that's the first side. Next, we're probably going to do this side. That's my guess. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, let's take a look here. So we haven't cut the subfloor. Don't worry about that yet. Let's do that last. We did this one. Okay, so we must be going on to sheet 2. Let's grab sheet 2. Here's sheet 2. These pages are really curly. Well, can only do so much. So since it's so curly, we're going to be putting in a lot of nails to hold this down. Okay, so let's try to get it into a nice position. I like to try to align it a little bit like that. That does seem to help me. There we go. Okay, I'm going to try to put some nails in. Let's see if I can do it by hand. Let's see if I'm successful doing it by hand. Yeah. Remember, the nails can't go very deep into the foam, so you have to put them at quite a extreme angle. And I'm working my way from one side to the other. Okay. Now that I worked from this side across, I pulled all the slack out. Now I'm going to start to work my way down. I'm going to start to go down here. Okay. There's so much curl in this page. I'm putting a lot of nails. If it was flat, I wouldn't have to put so many, but it's curled. If it continues to be curled, then we have an issue, and that issue is it won't lay flat as we're building on it, and then that will cause there to be issues with the wall. Last one. It's taking so many. That's okay. Okay. Great. So it looks like I'm ready to begin my next section of wall. We're on sheet 2 of 3. And let's get some 2x4s. 2x4. 2x10, 2x4. Got two sections of 2x4s. I'm going to start with this one. And the bottom one. So here, okay, we have that. That looks nice. And then we're going to do another one down here. These are identical, or should be. Let me look. Yep, they're identical. So here's the quick way to do it. We make sure that this end is flush. Slide your hand over, grab your pencil, and make a line. Just trying to smooth out that edge. Okay, let's get these nails in. It doesn't matter whether you do the top one or the bottom first. That's not an issue. I'm just going to use 3 to hold this in. 2 of them are very close to the ends. There we go. Let's get 3 nails in this also. And once we get our 3 nails in, we should be able to move on to the studs. Great, this is looking great. Okay, so these are my 2 leftover pieces. So let's see what I can do with these. I'm going to put one here and put one here. So let's line those up. Make a mark. And this is just like the instructions tell us. We're supposed to, if we're going to match them, we should have a master, but I actually think I already have a master. Let me check this out. Yeah, this master is perfect. So let me double check my master to this one. Yep, that one's good. Let me check my master to this one. That one's good. That should get us our perimeter. We'll look at more once we get the perimeter done. First things first, let's get the perimeter. It doesn't matter which one goes in 3rd or 4th. We'll just be getting to that next. Okay. Great. This is our perimeter. These are the first 4 pieces. So we're going to do a nail here, this direction, a nail here, this direction, a nail here, this direction, and a nail here, this direction. So that's your next move. Be very careful when you're making your alignment. You want to make sure that everything aligns to the drawing underneath it perfectly. If you put a nail in and it changes the position of the piece, you're going to want to take the nail out and put it back in a different position so that it doesn't shift on you. I'm pressing firmly down with these 2 fingers, following up. That looks great. Wow. What are our next steps here? Well, how many more do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll need 5 more. Let's get the 2x4. That will be 4, and then we'll need 1 more for the 5th. Okay, here we go. So let's mark all of these right now, and I think this will be our last. One, slide it over, rotate. 2, 3, 4, and the last one. Okay. It's kind of hard cutting it in here. I'll have to cut it above. One. That's my extra piece. These 2. This one's tough. Rock it back and forth slowly until you get to the bottom. Don't overexert yourself. If you slip, you're going to cut yourself. Slowly rock it back and forth. Nice. And we're done. We have 5 studs to go in this position, this position, this position, this position, and this position. Those will be the next moves for us. They will require just a little sanding. It's just a little snug, so we did make some good cuts on that. We'll pick up there next time.